Did you know that the sun is actually a star? And no, not like a Hollywood star, but the real fiery celestial kind. Not the kind that signs autographs or poses for paparazzi, mind you, but the kind that burns with a heat so intense it makes our summer holidays feel like a chilly winter morning. Now, if you're wondering where our sun ranks in the grand scheme of the Milky Way galaxy, it's a bit like the quiet kid in the back of the class. It's a medium-sized star situated in one of the spiral arms of our galaxy, far from the bustling city centre that is the galactic core. As for its makeup, well, the sun's primarily composed of hydrogen and helium, much like a giant fiery party balloon. But remember, this is one party you wouldn't want to get too close to. So the next time you're feeling starstruck, just remember you're practically besties with the biggest star of them all, the sun. Our sun is about 4.6 billion years old. Talk about the ultimate senior citizen. Now you might be wondering, how do we know the sun's age? Well, scientists have pieced together clues from the sun itself and its planetary system. They've studied meteorites, which are remnants from the early solar system, and these space rocks suggest that the sun is indeed around 4.6 billion years old. Now here's a fun fact. The sun, like us, is going through a midlife crisis of sorts. It's in its middle age, having burned through about half of its hydrogen fuel. But don't worry, it's not about to run out of gas just yet. It still has another 5 billion years or so to shine brightly before it swells into a red giant and eventually collapses into a white dwarf. So, the sun might be having a midlife crisis, but at least it doesn't have to worry about balding or buying a flashy new spaceship. Ever complained about your weight? Well, the sun weighs about 330,000 times more than Earth. Talk about needing a cosmic diet. Now, let's not body shame our sun, because its massive weight is what keeps us grounded, quite literally. You see, the sun's weight is so enormous that it creates a substantial gravitational pull. This gravitational tug is what keeps all the planets, including our Earth, in their orbits. Without the sun's gravitational pull, we'd be floating off into the depths of space, which, let's be honest, wouldn't be the ideal vacation spot. The sun's weight isn't just about size, though. It's about density, too. It's so dense that not even light can escape its gravitational grasp, which is why we see the sun shining in the sky every day. So the next time you grumble about those extra pounds, remember the sun's weight is a vital part of what makes our solar system function. Remember, when it comes to weight, the sun's got us all beat, so maybe skip that second slice of cake. The sun isn't just sitting up there doing nothing, it's actually spinning like a giant fiery ballerina. Now, the sun doesn't spin like a top, oh no. It has a bit of a quirk. It spins faster at its equator than at its poles. A bit like a wobbly spinning top, wouldn't you say? You see, at the equator the sun takes about 25 Earth days to complete one rotation, but at the poles it takes a leisurely 35 days. This peculiar dance is known as differential rotation, and this isn't just some cosmic ballet, it has significant effects on the sun's behavior. This differential rotation stirs up the sun's magnetic field, leading to some intense solar phenomena like sunspots, solar flares, and coronal mass ejections. These solar tantrums can even affect us here on Earth, messing with our satellites and power grids. So next time you're feeling dizzy, just think about the sun spinning around like a celestial disco ball. Ever had a bad day and just felt like exploding? Well, the sun actually does that with solar flares. Yes, indeed, folks, the sun has its moody days too, and boy does it show. Solar flares are essentially the sun's tantrums, massive eruptions that occur when the magnetic energy that's been built up in the sun's atmosphere is suddenly released. But that's not all. The sun also has its version of a volcanic eruption known as a coronal mass ejection. This is when the sun huffs and puffs and blows out a stream of energetic particles and magnetic fields. These solar hiccups can release billions of tons of plasma into space at incredible speeds. And what happens when these solar tantrums reach Earth? They can cause some serious mayhem, from messing with our satellite systems to creating spectacular displays of northern and southern lights. So the next time you're having a flare-up, just remember, at least you're not ejecting billions of tons of plasma into space. Ever wondered what the sun's retirement plan looks like? Hint, it's not a beachfront condo in Florida. Now, we can't predict the stock market, But when it comes to stellar evolution, we've got a pretty good idea of what's to come. The Sun, just like us, is middle-aged. It's been burning hydrogen at its core for about 4.5 billion years. But unlike us, it's not going to have a peaceful retirement. In about 5 billion years, the Sun will have exhausted all the hydrogen in its core. Without this fuel source, the core will contract under gravity, causing the temperature and pressure to rise. This will cause the hydrogen in the Sun's outer shell to ignite, leading to its expansion. You might have heard the term red giant before, and no, it's not the name of a new superhero. As the Sun expands, it will become a red giant, so large that it could engulf Mercury, Venus, and even our own Earth. The Sun's outer layers will be cooler, causing it to glow a deep red. But the Sun isn't going to stay in this stage for long. Well, long is relative, and we're talking about a few 100 million years here. After this phase, the Sun will shed its outer layers, leaving behind only its hot, dense core. This core, also known as a white dwarf, will be about the size of Earth, but with a mass similar to the Sun. The white dwarf will shine brightly for billions of years, slowly cooling and fading until it becomes a black dwarf. But don't worry, by the time this happens, we'll probably have colonized other star systems or, become extinct. So the Sun's future might be a bit grim, but hey, at least it doesn't have to worry about pension plans or dentures. If you like our videos, do subscribe for more. See you around.